Hi friends, in this video there is also having another audio file is also having for humanities as a war is spoken about the humanities of war of India's and Pakistan's readers. Listen the audio file, and sorry for your inconvenience, the video will be a large because due to the audio file that is having a 10 seconds is maximum is there. So listen the audio. This is the ones we can get here his own real voices. So what he spoken about the um, details of about the war about the war details and all. Humanities is a word especially he spoken in this audio. So listen the word. Listen the audio.
We deplore the suffering and destruction, the disruption of family life, the wasting of human resources, and the inevitable casualties of young men. War, which sometimes becomes necessary for defensive purposes, is still an evil and a danger to humanity. It does no good to any country since it leaves a trail of bitterness, fear, and suspicion, thwarts all attempts at social and economic development. The other day I went to the two military hospitals here and saw among the wounded young men of all communities, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh and Parsi. There is a general upsurge in the country which has dissolved our minor differences and integrated our people to a remarkable extent. There is oneness of feeling and purpose among our people, especially among the 50 million Muslims who have given a striking testimony of their deep patriotism. It is not our wish to destroy Pakistan or threaten its existence. Pakistan came into being as a result of the partition of India with goodwill and consent of our leaders. We want Pakistan to remain independent and sovereign. The people of Pakistan and India have ethnic, cultural, and historical ties of long standing, and we should coexist as brothers, cooperating in economic, cultural, and other affairs. This war was forced on us. Confident of victory against us, with mighty modern weapons, Pakistan tried to force the issue of Kashmir. Mao Zedong stressed that guerrillas must live off the land and can succeed only if they have the friendship and help of the local inhabitants. Pakistan sent across the ceasefire line armed infiltrators to incite a revolt in Kashmir, but they failed to gain the support of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. They failed even as the raiders assisted by Pakistan troops had failed in 1947. On that occasion, Indian troops were not there. The Maharaja of Kashmir, supported by Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah, asked for India's intervention to repel the raiders. Maharaja acceded to India, and legally that accession was final and complete. Pakistan assumed that India was too weak, or too afraid, or too proud to fight. India, though naturally disinclined to take to arms, felt the necessity to defend herself when attacked. Pakistan also assumed that communal disturbances would occur in the country and the resulting chaos she could have her way. Her miscalculations must have come to her as a rude shock. India is a democracy. It is an essential condition of a democratic people that they are free from external aggression, from the imposition of an outside will by force, subversion, or infiltration. The people are free to shape their destiny as they choose. India is what the world aspires to be, a multilingual, multiracial, multi-religious society. A democracy does not attempt to mold the whole world in a single pattern. Every individual has the opportunity for self-expression and self-development. India is a symbol of the good society. The conflict with Pakistan turned out to be a major moral issue of our time: dictatorship or democracy, a controlled press or a free press, a non-communal state which respects all religions or a theocratic state. Many religious fanatics try to reach heaven by creating a hell on earth. The present conflict was calculated to involve the United Nations organization afresh in Jammu and Kashmir and compel it to issue a call to India to hold a plebiscite. It is argued The democratic way of life demands the application of the principle of self-determination of Kashmir, and its future should be decided by a referendum. Self-determination does not apply to parts of countries. If it did, it would fragment and disintegrate groups and countries. Frequent reference is made to the Security Council resolution of August 1948. But there are three parts of the resolution of 1948 which have to be read together. Part 2 provided for the complete withdrawal of Pakistan troops from Jammu and Kashmir. This requirement was not carried out by Pakistan. This part also provided that Pakistan will use its best endeavor to secure withdrawal from the state of Jammu and Kashmir of tribesmen and Pakistan nationals not normally resident therein who had entered the state for the purpose of fighting. The responsibility for the security of the whole state was assigned to India. By refusing to vacate the aggression, Pakistan sought to prevent the implementation of the resolution, though they still talk about it. The UN Resolution Part 3, which spoke about consulting the wishes of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, could not be implemented if the truce agreement was not carried out by Pakistan. The past 17 years have created a situation where a plebiscite is neither practical nor necessary. The conditions for it are incapable of implementation. If we think of it, we'd worsen relations all round. Every effort was made to ascertain the wishes of the people. A constituent assembly was set up, and when the Kashmir constitution was formulated, a provision was made reserving 25 seats in the Kashmir Legislative Assembly for the elected representatives of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to be filled someday by the elected representatives. These seats are still waiting to be filled by a democratic election based on adult franchise. In accordance with the Indian Constitution, elections to the State Assembly and Central Parliament have been held regularly on the basis of adult suffrage. The people of Kashmir have the right to choose their own government and way of life. Their language, their religion, and their culture, their economic needs are well met in a democratic framework. The people of Jammu and Kashmir are managing their affairs in full accordance with law and their own constitution. Thus, the accession of Jammu and Kashmir to India is legally, constitutionally, politically, and ethically complete and just. The Sino-Indian border troubles of 1962 have been used by Pakistan to secure the assistance of China. China combines common sense and bravado in her foreign policy. China threatens trouble, though she acts in accordance with her own interests. China knows that if she intervened on the side of Pakistan, she would invite the opposition of many countries, great and small. Her intervention would lead to a general war with all its disastrous consequences. China is aware of this danger of the extension of the war, resulting in great power involvement. She is therefore content to create a diversion of small-scale activity along the Sino-Indian border to oblige Pakistan. But all the same, we have to be alert and watchful. Let us forget the bitterness of recent months and enter an era of peaceful coexistence. We must seek the unity of man with his neighbors, with the world that he has built, with the knowledge that can save or destroy him, which can stimulate or stifle him, with the machines which can enrich or menace his spirit. As members of the international community, holding that humanity is above all nations, we should sincerely adhere to the peaceful settlement of all disputes. The only concern of a true man is to be as human as possible. The German philosopher Schopenhauer complained that most men were like monkeys. It only made it worse, he lamented, that from a distance they often looked so deceptively human. Most wars are caused by misunderstandings, resentment, frustrations, and nationalist emotions. These we have to subdue if we wish to behave like human beings. China and Pakistan are our neighbors, and they should be persuaded to become our good and friendly neighbors. This is not impossible, difficult though it may seem today. We should work for that goal. Dear combustion, mal haswa. Look far ahead, don't be short-sighted.